So for this Christmas tutorial, we're going to make some toppers for some cupcakes. I'm going to use my little purple domes that I've got. I'll put links to everything in the description box below, and then I've also got some chocolate flavoured icing that's ready to roll here in a dark brown. So we're going to roll out our brown, and I'm going to take a round cutter that's just a little bit bigger than my piece of foam. I'm going to cut a nice circle like so, and we're going to put this over the foam, cupping it so that it creates a nice dome effect, which will sit nicely on the top of our cupcake. So I'm going to use a stitching wheel tool to put a little line down the centre of my bear's face so it looks like it's got stitching on it, and then I'm just going to use the other end to just put a few longer lines on. Next we're going to use a balling tool to put in some little eye holes. So we're going to put these quite far down on this one, on either side. Just make sure it doesn't lose its shape too much when you press them on. So just add a bit of white fondant to the brown so that we've got a paler shade for the nose. Or if you prefer, you can add a bit of yellowy to it as well. So I've mixed a paler brown. I'm just going to roll a ball, squash it a little bit for our nose, push it on in place. Next we want a little bit of black, and we're going to give them some eyes. So I'm going to squash down 2 balls for the eyes, and we're just going to stick those in the eye sockets that we've created. And what we'll do is we'll do one with eyelids and one without, so you can see which you like best. So I'll put these on the other one. So for the eyelids, we're going to roll a ball of the brown, squash it down so it becomes a little bit bigger than the black bit of the eye. And then we're going to cut that in half. You might find it stretches a little bit when you pick it up. And then we'll just push that in place over the top of our eyelid, of our eye even, like that. And then we're just going to give them a black nose. So roll into a bit of an oval, and then we'll just push that onto the black bit, like so. And now they just need some little ears. So 2 balls of brown, just squash them down a little bit. And then we're going to take 2 smaller balls of pale brown. I'm going to push these into each one. And then we're going to stick these in place on our bear's head. So work out how far round you want them to come. You might want them really far round or quite close up to the top. I think we'll go about here. And I'm just going to use the bottom of my balling tool to push that onto there like that, so that it's stuck in place. If it doesn't stick, just get a bit of water underneath to hold it in place. And we're just going to add some white dots in his eyes and also on his little nose. So we'll roll a little teardrop shape, tiny, for his nose. And we'll push that onto there like that. And then some dots for his eyes. And if you want, you can give him a second dot in each eye. And now we're just going to Christmassy him up a little bit, and we're going to give him a little sprig of holly or mistletoe, whichever you prefer. So I've just dyed a bit of green. As you can see, I've got it all over my fingers. I've just used a party green. And instead of using the cutters, rather than having holly leaf shapes, we're just going to go for something nice and simple. So we're going to roll teardrop shape like that, and then I'll use the end of the tool that I had earlier to just put a little line through the middle, and we'll just do a couple of those. We'll get some water on the backs of these, and we'll stick these then in place on the teddy's head. So I'm going to go for just in front of his ear on this one, and then we're going to roll a couple of little red berries to go on there. Again, we'll get a bit of water in place where we want them to go. And of course, if you don't want it to look Christmassy, you don't have to add that bit, but I think they look cute. And you can give them eyelashes if you want as well, whatever takes your fancy with them. You might want to replace the holly with a bow. We're going to leave these to dry for a couple of hours, or just until they feel firm enough that you can lift them off the sponges without them bending. Then they'll be ready to go on our cupcakes. So I've given my little toppers a couple of hours to dry a little bit. Just do be careful when you're picking them up in case you do break them. And all we're going to do is just put a little bit of buttercream on the top of our cupcake. And we're just going to place that on the top, like so. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please do check out my other tutorials over on my playlist. Thank you for watching.
If you liked this video and would like to see more, please click on the images of the other videos suggested. Also, please do subscribe to my channel using the button at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. You can also visit my cake website and my Facebook page to see more cakes and ideas.